And here we go. We are live. We are live, on fire. Yes, sir, but this is the very first episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. Now, I just want to know if y'all can hear me out there. How's the sound? How's the camera quality? I mean, I know the camera quality is pretty much garbage right now because I'm using my laptop camera, but I will be upgrading all of this equipment real soon. So, yeah. But big ups to myself for broadcasting the very first episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. That's right. Conservatism, black conservatism, without the buck dancing. You hear me? Let me say that again. Black conservatism, without the buck dancing. That's my slogan. Because let's talk about black conservatism for a minute. Most people, when they think about black conservatism, they think about, pretty much like what I said, people who are out there buck dancing, shoe shining, tap dancing for the man. You know what I'm saying? Just to give some examples, you got people like Larry Elders come to mind when you think about black conservatives, Jesse Lee Peterson, Tim Scott, Clarence Thomas, who else we got? People like Candace Owens. So, excuse me, a lot of these people who call themselves conservatives, they really use conservatism as a cloak to attack the black community, although they are black themselves. And that's a narrative that we have to change. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, because I just wanted to put the information out there that you don't need to buck dance. You don't need to be cooning it up. You don't need to be soft shoeing. You don't need to be doing any of that to represent black conservatism. You don't need to do it. So, that's my goal, is to talk about the issues that affect the black community, to talk about the issues that affect the revolutionary community, with a conservative outlook on things, without gooning, without buck dancing. I mean, can we do that? I mean, is that so hard to do? Is that so hard to do, to talk about black conservatism without tap dancing across the stage? I think it is, and we're going to prove that it is tonight with the very first podcast hosted by yours truly, Shane the Artist. We are going to be delving into some controversial subjects today, so bear with me. And like I said before, I want to apologize for the unprofessional setup. I have things on the way. I got LED lights. I have with neon signs with my logo. I got other stuff that I'm ordering. I'm going to get a 4G camera. I'm going to make this setup a lot more professional. But at the same time, I did not want to wait to get every single piece of equipment that I need in order to get this podcast started, because I just got too much to say. I got too much on my mind. I can't wait. So I'm just going to give y'all the ghetto setup for right now, and we just going to go. You know what I'm saying? We just going to go. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, the setup is not the best right now. You know, and I ain't going to apologize a million times for it. Like I said before, it is what it is, but this is not the permanent setup at all, okay? We are going to get better as time progresses. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, I will say this again. I am your host of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. I go by the name of Shane the Artist. I am a hip-hop artist. I am a family man, a husband, a father, a grandfather, a revolutionary, I'm an activist, and I represent the blue-collar working man as well. So, you know, this is the perspective that I'm coming from and that I'm bringing this podcast to you from. So, but I want to know, can y'all hear me out there? You know, I just want to know about the sound quality. That's pretty much an introduction about me. You know, black conservatism without the buck dancing. Yeah, you know, I said that quite a few times, but I just need to reiterate. I just need to reiterate on that. So, yeah. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started because I'm going to end up posting this on my Rebellious Rhymer YouTube page anyway. I'm going to post this everywhere, all over my social media. I'm going to be posting it anyway. So, hey. So, that's what it is. But I want to start off this podcast by announcing a special event that me and my wife have coming up along with the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Okay? The Black Rebel Brigade and Project Agape Foundation, along with the Shrine of the Black Madonna, we are bringing to you. Okay, so like I said before, we have an event coming up. The Black Rebel Brigade, Project Agape Foundation, which is my wife's foundation, along with the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Saturday, February 15th, we have the great comedic scientist himself, Baba Azra Kwesi, is coming to town. That's right. We got Azra Kwesi and his lovely wife, Mary Kwesi. They will be coming to town, to Houston, February 15th. And they will be doing a lecture, The African Origin of Civilization. That's the African Origin of Civilization. That will be by Baba Azra Kwesi and Mary Kwesi. They will be here in Houston at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, Saturday, February 15th. The doors open at 4:30. You can get your tickets at the Eventbrite. The link is on my Facebook page if you want to check that out. But you can go to Eventbrite. I'm supposed to be sharing this with y'all right now, but being as though I cannot understand why they removed the share option, or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing right now. But yeah, so come through, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday, February 15th, we have Azra Kwesi and Mary Kwesi. They will be at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Doors open at 4:30. And if you need the address to the Shrine of the Black Madonna, it is 5309 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77021. And that's the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Brought to you by, of course, the Shrine of the Black Madonna, the Project Agape Foundation, and the Black Rebel Brigade. So, we are going to go ahead and get to the topic at hand. And the topic at hand, hold on, let me get back. Let me get back to my screen so I can see myself and see what I'm doing. I keep getting these messages posted. No, I don't want to leave the page. No, I don't. I really don't know why I can't do a screen share. I mean, that was the most important aspect of me using this app was to use the screen share. And I cannot screen share. And, that really just, it really bothers me that I cannot share my screens with y'all. But it's okay. We're going to keep going anyway. I'm not going to just give up. I'll figure the screen share stuff out next time. But, so we are going to get to the controversial subject of the day, which is, should Black Americans or should FBA get themselves involved with ICE? Capturing of illegal immigrants. And, I know it's a very controversial subject matter. And let me just start off, before I even get into all that, let me just start off by saying this is not about any type of hatred towards Hispanics. It's not about any type of vitriol or anything like that. I got a lot of Hispanic friends and even allies, and they're really, really cool people. I know a lot of Hispanic people that I'm really cool with. Did music with some people. I'm friends with people. I work with some really good people. I grew up with some really good people of the Latino origin. So, I do not have an issue with people of the Latino experience to come to the United States the right way, of course, the legal way, work their ways up, work themselves up to the top of the food chain, make a good living for themselves and to be able to support their family. I'm all for that. As a matter of fact, I'm all for that. Kudos to you if that is the way you are moving and shaking. You come into the country legally, you work your way up, you support your family. That's the American dream, right? Yes, that is the American dream. But, and here's my issue. The issue that I have is the mass migration of immigrants into the country unchecked, unscathed. We don't know who these people are. They're not checking their backgrounds. We don't know who we don't know who we are letting over the border. And this is not just about Latinos either. I'm talking about people coming over the border from Latin countries, people coming over the border from the diaspora, people coming over the border from the Caribbean, from the islands. this is all. I'm talking about all of the people from the diaspora, um, not just the Latino community. So, and like I said before, this is not. Please don't mistake this as coming from a place of hatred, because it's not coming from a place of hatred. It's not coming from a place of bigotry or racism. Although I am the one to believe that black people, that we cannot be racist, because racism is systematic, and we don't have the systematic power to punish anybody who comes over these borders. We don't go and write laws that affect a specific group of people. We don't do that. We can't do that. So that's what racism is, and we don't have the power to practice that racism. We can be bigots. We can be bigots. We can not like people. We can name call, and we can do that kind of stuff. But we cannot practice systematic racism. We can't do it. As black people, as black Americans, we cannot do it. But back to what I was saying, we cannot come to the country illegally in masses and use up all of the resources that was meant for, or should be meant for, Americans, the people who are in this country, who's born and raised in this country, the American people. These incentives and these giveaways and these resources should be allocated to the American people. Do you know that in the state of California, in LA right now, on Skid Row, 50% of the people who live on Skid Row are black Americans? I bet y'all didn't know that. So why aren't we allocating some of these funds to help American people out? You just recently had a hurricane in, what was that, in North Carolina? And the government is talking about a $700 incentive, and then you have to go through all this red tape to get that $700. What are you going to do with $700, Biden administration? What are these people going to do with $700 when they lost everything? They lost their homes, lost their livelihood, lost their vehicles. Some of them are homeless now. Like, what is $700 going to do? But then on the same note, you have people who are immigrating to this country illegally, and they're getting all kinds of incentives and cash and food stamps. And I know here in Houston is a sanctuary city. We have sanctuary cities all across the country. Where people illegal can drive without insurance, without a driver's license. They can do all of this stuff, and nothing happens to them. Now you catch one of us driving with no insurance. Believe me, I've driven without insurance before, and when I got pulled over and they saw that I didn't have no insurance, you know what they did? They put me on that surcharge. And so what the surcharge did was I had to pay, I believe it was like $100 a year for like 3 or 4 years or something like that. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I had to pay. I paid the price for driving without insurance. But then you got people who are coming to this country illegally. And they get to these sanctuary cities, and they don't have to have insurance. They don't have to have a driver's license. They get incentives. They get money. They get food stamps. They get housing. You got people in Chicago protesting and complaining right now. You hear me? You got people in Chicago protesting and complaining right now because their kids' schools are being closed down and shut down so they can house illegal immigrants. Where do we do that at? Where do we do that at? Name one country where Black Americans are immigrating or migrating by the thousands and taking up all the resources of that country, closing down schools that are meant for the native people of that country, shutting their schools down so it can be used, so their schools can be used to house us. How would that work out if we went to another country doing that? It's just a simple question. How would that work out? I'll tell you how it would work out. It wouldn't work out because we'll be dead. That's what would happen. They'll stone us to death if we try something like that. They'll put a rubber tire over us and set us on fire. Yeah, that sounds a little graphic, but I'm just saying. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. And we know that that's true. So why do we let it happen here? Is my question. This administration has given millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. I'm going to say billions. Billions of dollars into housing and feeding illegal immigrants by the thousands. This administration has given billions of dollars to Afghanistan, funding wars, to the Ukraine, funding wars. When is enough is enough? That's my question. When is enough is enough? That's what I want to know. It's because it's just too much. So the question is, should foundational Black Americans, should FBA get themselves involved with ICE? And that question came about because of a program by a Missouri lawmaker. And, you know, I know that I can't screen share, but I'm just going to read it to you, okay? I'm going to read these to you. So the heading is $1,000 per person. Missouri lawmaker proposes paying residents to catch undocumented neighbors. I want to know what people think about that. Would you do it as a Black American? If you knew that some people were illegally in this country, would you turn them in for $1,000? That's the question. That's the question. So, you know, I would like to know, would you turn them in for $1,000? I am going to tell you that if this law was passed in Texas and made a national mandate nationwide, would you guys turn in illegal immigrants, Latino, African, Caribbean, or from wherever? Would you guys turn these people in $1,000 a pop? My answer is, hell yeah, of course I would. Yes, I would. And controversial? Well, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You want to be mad at me for saying that I'll turn them in? Well, hey, that's just too damn bad. Yes, I will turn them in. But let me give you some reasons as to why. Okay, we are going to go to Houston, you know, where I live. I live in Houston, Texas. And we've been having so many different mishaps here of illegal immigrants doing all kind of janky things, man. Sex trafficking, dope dealing, kidnapping, murders, rapes, you know. And I don't want to sound like some type of a bigot or something, but these things are happening. And, you know, of course it happens. Americans commit these crimes too, you know, and Americans, they serve they get arrested and they serve their time. But the difference is we are not migrating to somebody else's country illegally and committing these crimes. So why should we allow it? So we're going to start off here with this man. I can't share the screen to you. I really wish that I could, but I can't. Texas 10 most wanted criminal illegal immigrants. And here's some of the details. This man, Jose Miguel Zelaya Ponce, okay? His name is Jose Miguel Zelaya Ponce. There was a $3,000 reward on his head. He has already been captured, I believe. But he was wanted in Houston, Texas. He was wanted and for a sexual assault and battery on a 14-year-old girl. Let me read this here. Give me 1 second. Closer to me. So, Jose Miguel Zelaya Ponce, a Texas 10 most wanted criminal illegal immigrant from Honduras, was captured on August 23rd, 2024 in Houston, Texas, working off investigative information. DPS special agents assigned to Texas Anti-Gang, or TAG, Center, along with the Texas Rangers and DPS Highway Patrol troopers, located and arrested Zelaya Ponce in April of 2021. Zelaya Ponce was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Protection and charged with the alien removal. He was subsequently given an order to recognize and women. What is that? I'm sorry, y'all. This screen is kind of small. Of recognizance and release. In June of 2024, he was issued a final order of removal. Zelaya Ponce had been wanted since July 24, 2024, when a warrant was issued out of Harris County for his arrest for aggravated sexual assault of a child under 14. Zelaya Ponce arrested was not from tip information received through Texas Crime Stoppers, so no reward was paid. Okay, well, nobody got that $3,000 because DPS located him. But, like I said, I don't have an issue with people migrating to this country, working themselves up, working their way up, supporting their family and stuff like that. That's fine. But when you have people who are in this country illegally committing crimes like that, going around sexually assaulting young girls, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yes, I have an issue with that. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't have an issue with that? We have daughters out here, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, that is an issue. So, again, the question is, should Black Americans support the efforts in ICE in capturing illegal immigrants and sending them back to their countries? You can put in the comment section, yes, you agree with it. No, you don't agree with it. I made my case very clear that I do agree with it. They should be captured and they should be sent back to their countries. Venezuela emptied its prisons and let all these people migrate over here. And, in this administration, just wide open borders, just open the borders. Just let them come on through, bring them on. No, we don't need no background checks. We don't need to check them. We don't need to do none of that. Just Just let them come through, and okay. My mom agrees. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you agree with that, Mom, because it's really dangerous out here. So yes, I'm glad you agree with me when it comes to that. This administration, with its open border policies, is a danger to all of us. So, and I'm not trying to be a fear monger and all of this stuff. And I'm not saying that everybody who comes to this country illegally are committing crimes. But what I'm saying is we need to protect ourselves, from whatever could happen or whatever may happen. We need to protect ourselves from this stuff because our government is not looking out for us. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. Our government is not looking out for our best interests. So, let's see what else we have here. Yeah. I'm glad, some people agree that these people need to be got up out of here. We need to get y'all out of here, family. That's just what it is. It's not about hatred or any of that kind of stuff at all. It's more so about what country has borders that are so open to where they just let anybody come through and commit crimes. I don't know any country that does that. A country is not a country if it does not have secure borders. And that's my opinion on the matter. And that's not the only story. We have other stories here. That is not the only story. This also happened in Houston. Men charged in capital murder of Houston girl entered the U.S. illegally. So, talking about these two men here, I don't know if y'all can see that. But men charged in capital murder of Houston girl entered the U.S. illegally. So, let me read that to you. This happened in Houston, Texas. 2 undocumented immigrants charged with capital murder in the death of a 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari are being held on immigration detainers at the Harris County Jail. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement told Houston CBS affiliates. So, according to ICE, Franklin Jose Pena Ramos, 26, and Johan Jose Rangel Martinez, 22, illegally entered the U.S. on an unknown date at an unknown location. And here's before I even continue, this is the thing. A lot of these illegal immigrants are a lot of young people. I can understand if it was a bunch of women and children and elders and stuff like that, but you got a whole bunch of young, able-bodied men entering this country illegally, and then they going off committing crimes and sexually assaulting people and raping people and murdering people. Get out of here. Get out of here with that, man. That's not how we roll. You know what I'm saying? We are going to protect this country's borders. But anyways, let me continue. On March 14th, Martinez was taken into U.S. Borders Patrol custody near El Paso. The same day, he was released on an order to reconciliation. So that word confuses me sometimes. With a notice to appear, the KHOU reported this. Pena was taken into custody by the U.S. Border Patrol on May 28th near El Paso. He was also released on an order to reconciliation with a notice to appear per the KHOU report. Both men were seen on surveillance footage with a 12-year-old girl before her body was found in a Houston creek earlier this week, were arrested Thursday in her death, police said. Martinez and Ramos each face a charge of capital murder in the killing of Jocelyn Nguri. Police said the medical examiners had determined that her cause of death was strangulation. So they strangled the poor girl. And they were caught on video. They were seen on video last with this 12-year-old girl. It was unclear if the two suspects had attorneys yet to speak on their behalf. Their names were not listed in jail or court records as of Thursday afternoon. Jocelyn's body was found in the shallow water of a creek early Monday morning. Police have said that she sneaked out of her nearby home the night before. Police said that surveillance footage showed the men meeting up with Jocelyn before walking to a convenience store with her. Excuse me. So, parents, please keep an eye on your kids and who they are chatting with and talking to online. Keep an eye on your kids because this little girl snuck out of her house probably to meet up with these guys. So I don't understand how that happened, but it happened, and these creeps got their hands on that little 12-year-old girl, and they murdered her. The three then walked to the bridge together when Jocelyn was killed, police said. It was not known yet if Jocelyn knew the men who were roommates, police said. Police said the results of a sexual assault examined on the victim are pending, which I'm assuming that she was, but the results are pending. I haven't gotten any updates on this story yet, but if I do get some updates, I'll surely let you know. Police on Tuesday had released photos from the surveillance footage of the two men who were called persons of interest at the time. So yeah, you got stuff like this happening. You got monsters like this who are sneaking over illegally and committing these kind of crimes. Yes, we have an issue with that. We have an issue with that. So, should FBA involve themselves with ICE in capturing people like that? Now, we have to be careful with this kind of thing too, because we want to make sure that we know for certain that whoever we do decide to turn into ICE, that they are actually illegal immigrants that are here illegally. We don't want to call ICE on people who are citizens. We don't want to just use this as a form of bigotry and racism and just call authorities on any Hispanic person you see. That's whack. Don't do that. That's that's bigotry. And that's exercising racism. We're better than that. Black Americans, we are better than that. FBA, we are better than that. But if we know for sure, let's just say that this law, which honestly I don't know if it's going to pass or not, and I don't think it's going to pass in the state of Missouri. But if it does, and if it somehow becomes a nationwide mandate, will you, in efforts with ICE, turn in some of these illegal immigrants for $1,000 a piece? That's $1,000 per person. So you can go to a Home Depot, and I'm not trying to give people ideas, but you can go to a Home Depot. You see 20 immigrants out there, and you call ICE and get 20 people arrested, that's $20,000. I mean, a lot of people are going to take that money, fam. And that's just what it is. And, I don't want to, I hate to sound bigoted because I'm not, but a lot of people are going to take that money. A lot of people are going to take that money. Do you hear what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to take it. So, that's the question, and that's what this subject is about today. Would you be the ones to help ICE with these efforts? Like I said, no country is to be taken seriously if they don't have secure borders. If you don't have secure borders, then what are you doing as a nation? What are you doing? Even African nations secure their borders from other Africans. Even African nations secure their borders from other Africans. If you don't believe me, just look up the stories of South Africa and what the South Africans do to Nigerian migrants that migrate to their country. They are abusing these Nigerian migrants in South Africa. And these are fellow Africans. They are securing their border from other Africans. So why can we not do the same? Why can we not do the same? You have a lot of, you just have a lot of dangerous situations going on here that require us to secure our borders. It requires us to secure our borders. And I know I'm focusing a lot on Houston tonight, but I'm going to read to you, and I promise this is not going to be my last story, but I'm going to read to you another story. This happened in Houston. And this is not from the Hispanics, okay? This is a Nigerian couple now. You got Africans coming here and doing crazy stuff too. A lot of scams, a lot of crimes committed. So here, let me read this story to you. Houston area couple charged with enslaving Nigerian woman for more than 2 years while in the U.S. So this was a Nigerian couple who brought down another Nigerian woman, and they housed her, and they hired her to, I guess, to be like a nanny to their kids and stuff like that. And they was abusing this woman. Check this out here. A Houston area couple was arrested Monday after a criminal complaint was filed alleging forced labor, withholding documents, conspiracy to harbor an illegal alien, and visa fraud. So this is what I'm talking about. These people come here and commit all of these janky crimes and all of this fraud, marriage fraud, and marrying people, using our women using our women for money, using our women for green cards, and things like that. They come here and commit all kind of crimes and scams and all these type of things. Okay, let me continue. These charges were announced by U.S. Attorney Kenneth Magnuson, Southern District of Texas. The investigation is being conducted by the following members of the Human Trafficking Rescue Alliance in Houston, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or also known as ICE. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, Fort Bend, Texas Sheriff Office, and the Department of State Diplomatic Security Service. Okay, so this is the couple, Chudi and Sandra Insabundu. I'm probably butchering their name. My apologies if I'm butchering that name. But Chudi and Sandra Insabundu, 56 and 50, respectively, of Katy, Texas, were arrested February 8th and are expected to make their initial appearance Tuesday before U.S. migrant judge Nancy Johnson. The criminal complaint was filed under a seal February 5th and automatically unsealed upon their arrest. The alleged victim is a 38-year-old woman from Nigeria. According to the affidavit in support of the criminal complaint, the woman was subjected to physical and verbal abuse while employed by the Katie couple and regularly referred to as the idiot. So they was verbally abusing this woman. The victim allegedly worked every day from 5:30 a.m. until 1 a.m. So they was working this woman every day from 5:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. No. I was right the first time. They was working this woman from 5:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. I mean, jeez. And was responsible for cleaning the house. So she was responsible for cleaning the house, making the meals, and taking care of the 5 children. They had 5 children. The criminal complaint alleges the Nigerian woman was told she could not watch television or even sit down during her work shift. Damn. So from 5:30 a.m. until 1:30 a.m., she could not sit down, not even once. She could not watch television. That is cruel. That is cruel. You don't see, Black Americans don't do this kind of stuff to each other. We do not. We do not enslave people. That is just crazy. She was also allegedly told to sleep on the floor and could not use warm water to bathe or wash her hair. The affidavit also claims that she was not allowed to eat fresh food and was only permitted the leftovers from previous prepared meals, the meals that she probably prepared herself. Further, if the victim even wanted some milk for her tea, she had to strain the milk out of the children's cereal bowls. That's disgusting. According to the allegations, in one instance of alleged abuse, the criminal complaint charges that Sandra Nsimbundu dragged the woman by her hair and hit her across the face because she did not like the socks the victim put on one of the children. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a cold, so. But that is insane, man. That's crazy. The victim did not have access to a phone and could not communicate with her family, according to the charges. Her movements were mostly limited to the residence, and she was allegedly only allowed outside for short walks around her block with the youngest children under her care. The charges outlined in the complaint indicated the victim also did not have access to her passport and other travel documents. They took the woman's passport. I mean, I know when I traveled outside of this country, I traveled to Africa, I kept my passport right by my side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because there's way too many passport scams out there where people are trying to steal your passport for a multitude of reasons. So I wasn't having that, family, but they took the woman's passport. The defendant had previously agreed to pay the woman 20,000 Nigerian nairas. That's about $100 in US dollars per month. According to the charges, the Nbundus allegedly never paid the victim for any of the work she performed for them in the U.S. The victim was rescued October 10th, 2015. So this is an old story, but I'm saying this is the kind of things that are happening. After more than 2 years with the Nbundus in the U.S. following the tip, I know I butchered that name, in the U.S. following a tip made to the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. If convicted of forced labor, the defendants each face up to 20 years in federal prison for visa fraud, and maximum penalty is the 25-year federal prison term. Convictions for withholding documents and harboring conspiracy carry maximum punishment of 5 to 10 years. Respectively, all of the charges could also result in a $250,000 maximum fine. Assistant U.S. Attorney Julie N. Cyril and Ruben R. Perez, Southern District of Texas, are prosecuting this case. A criminal complaint is a formal accusation of criminal conduct, not evidence. Defendant is presumed innocent until convicted through due process of law. Of course, we know that. And this is all fair use, by the way. This is fair use. I'm using this information for documentation and education. So fair use, fair use, fair use. So don't try to get me flagged or try to get my page shut down. This is all fair use information that I'm using for documentation and education. So, I hope that you guys are enjoying my podcast so far. We've been going an hour now. Let me give myself a round of applause for that. Let me give myself a round of applause for that. We've been going for an hour. And, and we're about to go ahead and wrap it up because I don't never plan on going over an hour, starting off, because, really my goal was to really just do 30 minutes today. But, I've been going an hour and, hey, I don't have any complaints about that because this is the very first episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. And once again, I am your host, Shane the Artist. I am your host, Shane the Artist. Ain't going to be no other podcast like this. What are we going to be doing for you? We're going to be doing journalism, investigations. We're going to be talking about politics. We're going to be talking about hip hop. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to interview musicians. We're going to interview revolutionaries. We're going to interview activists. We're going to interview politicians. So you do not want to miss these next couple of episodes coming up. Now, the goal is to do one episode every Saturday. I might start off with one episode every other Saturday. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. It depends on what things are looking like next Saturday. Depends on how I, get this equipment to work for me, and stuff like that. So it all depends. It all depends. But as you see my background here, this is my temporary background. That's me in front of the pyramids of Giza. I'm going to tell you something. When you step into those pyramids, you have an overwhelming force of nature that overtakes you. So overwhelming spiritual ancestral force that permeates through your being. That's my wife with the afro. Yeah, that's my Isaac, Patricia. That's my wife. And she is also going to be a guest sometimes on this podcast as well. So I want y'all to stay tuned for that. But yeah, my trip to Kemet. First let me say that I am a student. I am a student of the greats Baba Asra Kwesi and Mary Rock Kwesi. I learned all of my Kemetic knowledge from them. Baba Kwesi is a direct student of Dr. Ben, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan. He is the master teacher. He was one of the original master teachers that I've learned about, along with George G.M. James. When I read his book, Stolen Legacy, and stuff like that. We're getting this knowledge from the proper source. So I'm very proud of myself, and I do have a certificate issued to me by Baba Kwesi. I am a student and I've studied. I am a student, and I'm not going to say I am a master, but I am working to become a master in the studies of ancient Kemet. So I'm gonna give myself another round of applause for that. Kemet is the way. Kemet is the way. Why study? And this is not a knock on other organizations and other religions, but why be a Christian reading out of a Bible that was plagiarized off of the walls of Kemet in the first place? Why be a Muslim and of the Islamic persuasion when Islam came out of Africa, came out of Kemet? I'm going to the original source. Why be a 5%er with some 120 lessons when the original 120 lessons is on that wall, is on them walls in Kemet? Can somebody tell me? Somebody let me know. I'm going directly to the source. You see that in the background? That's the step pyramid of Saqqara. And I actually got an opportunity to go inside the step pyramid of Saqqara, designed by the master builder, Imhotep. So I'm very proud of that. And we will be making our return to Kemet. And I'm not going to be done until I visit all over Africa. I want to travel abroad, period. Not just Africa. I want to go to Asia. I want to go to South America. I even want to go to some European countries. Don't beat me up, but hell, I even want to go and visit. Are you ready for this? I even want to go and visit the Caucasus Mountains. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to go and visit the Caucasus Mountains because I just want to get a feel of who these people are and where they come from. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Let's get back to the subject at hand. Speaking of the motherland, speaking of Africa, and things like that, have y'all heard about what's going on in the Congo? Have you heard about what's going on in the Congo? You haven't? Well, let me let you know that in the Congo will execute more than 170 people convicted of armed robberies, officials say. So apparently there was some heavy gang activity in the Congo. So these dudes was robbing, probably shooting and killing. These dudes out here is really just acting the fool out here in the Congo. So there's this gang out there, and they're being arrested, and they're going to be executed, man. The Congo ain't playing. The Congo ain't playing with these young dudes, man. The Congo said, no, ain't no jail time. There's no due process. There's no court. Let me get some water. Hold on, fam. Let me get some water. Excuse me. Yes. So yeah, there's no due process. No due process, no none of that. They just gonna straight up execute these dudes. I mean, god damn. So let's go ahead and get you that story. So Kinshasa, Congo. More than 170 inmates on death row were flown from Congo's capital to the high security prison in north where they will be executed, Congolese authorities said. 70 of the convicted convicts were transported on Sunday. Congolese Minister of Justice Constant Matamba said, adding to 102 other prisoners who have allegedly been sent to Njinga prison in the northern Mangala province, and that is in the Congo. The men have been convicted of armed robbery and are locally known as the Kalunas. So there's a gang out in the Congo called the Kalunas, or urban bandits. I guess that means urban bandits. They're aged between the ages of 18 and 35. Mutumba said in a statement he did not say when the executions would take place. Some have welcomed the measures as a means to restoring order and security in the cities, while others are concerned about the risk of abuse and human rights violations. We welcome this discussion by the minister because it will help put an end to the urban crime. From 8 p.m. onward, you can't move around freely because you're afraid of running into a Kaluna. Here's my son. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Hi, Righteous. Hey, right. This is my son, Righteous. Yeah, his pull-up. Okay, yes, your daddy is doing a podcast right now. Okay. Poo-poo. Okay, yeah, poo-poo. Okay, Righteous. But look, I'm gonna need you to go on back upstairs, and I'll be up there in a little bit. Okay. All right, come on. Give me some sugars. All right, now go on. Hold on real quick, family. Okay, come on. All right, come on. Okay, sorry about that, family. Yes, that was my little baby boy, Righteous. Righteous Divine Heru. Yes. And I knew that he was going to come down here and pay me a visit. Whew. Let me give me a drink of water, fam. So, where was I? We welcome this decision by the minister because it will help put an end to the urban crime. From 8 p.m. onward, you can't move around freely because you're afraid of running into Kaluna, said Fiston Kakul, a resident of the eastern city of Goma. So I know I read that part already. Espor Muinuka, a human rights activist, warned of the possibility of extrajudicial executions and called for strict respect for judicial procedures and fundamental guarantees. He fears the political pressure could lead to unjust convictions and arbitrary executions. Excuse me, family. I'm so sorry about that. Like I said, I'm just getting over a cold. What do I have to say about that? I mean, damn. Oh, man. I really apologize about that. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Yes, I will definitely be editing this video when I'm done. I apologize about that. It was unprofessionalism, but I am just getting over a cold. But what I have to say about that is, damn, the Congo ain't playing, are they? They about to kill 170 young gang members for armed robbery. I just wish or hope that they keep that same energy and extract resources from them, and they don't have that same energy that they have towards their own people. Africa need to use that same energy to get these colonizers out of their mix and take back control of their land and take back control of their resources. Use that same energy. Don't just be cruel to your own people. And that, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. 170 people are going to be executed. Man, I seen the news clippings. These boys were on the news crying, man. They crying. They gonna die. They gonna die. Ain't no going to jail. Ain't no due process. No none of that. They just gonna straight up die for some armed robbery. So, geez, man. I mean, yeah, I understand. I would cry too. But then again, I wouldn't be in no gang out there robbing people and stuff either. But man, when it comes to their own, when it comes to their own people, Africa, or the Congo, we're talking specifically, are they can be pretty cruel. That's pretty intense. I'm not one to judge how they handle their business over there as far as the legality of things. I'm not one to judge. Do I think personally that is a little harsh? Yeah, obviously. Obviously it's a little harsh. Some time in prison would do them some justice, but I don't think that they need to be executed. I mean, that's very extreme. But like I said before, I want to see that same energy when it comes to getting these colonizers about the mix. And that's all I got to say about that, family. I'm sitting here hacking and coughing, and I got my son coming down here, messing with me and stuff like that. And I've been on here now for an hour and 17 minutes and 30 seconds. So I didn't even think I was going to be on here that long. So let me give myself a round of applause for that. I want to thank you for joining the very first broadcast and in the very first podcast of The Rebellious Rhymer. I am your host, Shang the Artist, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's a Rebellious Rhymer page on YouTube. Like and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell. I also have a Twitter page. I have a Twitter page. It is Shang the Artist on Twitter, or you can search Rebellious Rhymer on Twitter as well. I have my Facebook page, Maitreya Asset on Facebook. Also, albums. Like I said, I do music. You can purchase. I have 2 albums under the name Big Shang, so you can go to iTunes, search up Big Shang, stream and download my music there. And I also have 2 albums under the name, my current name, Shang the Artist. So in 1996, I adopted the name Shang. So I started off as Shang Tsung, like the character from Mortal Kombat. That's where I got the name from, in 1996. In, let's say, around 2002, 2003, I changed my name from Shang Tsung to Big Shang. I had gained a lot more weight at that time, and, I was a little stocky dude. And, I changed my name to Big Shang. So I was Big Shang for a little while, and so I would say around 2009, around 2011, I changed my name to Shang the Artist, because I kind of what's the word? I kind of changed the flow up a little bit of my music. I was a little less hardcore, rah-rah, and more on some lyrical hip-hop stuff. So I decided to change my name to Shang the Artist. So I am now going by Shang the Artist. That is my name. who's hosting this Rebellious Rhymer podcast that I'm bringing to you today. And you can go you can go to YouTube, you can go to Raspberry, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple Store, you can go to iTunes, you can search up Shane the Artist, download my music, stream my music. It's available for you at this point in time. Anyways, family, that I am going to be wrapping up the very first episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. I would like to thank everybody who's tuned in, and I would like to thank everybody who will be tuning in later. The broadcast will be here, and it will be posted on my YouTube page, and I will be posting clips of the broadcast on my YouTube page in the form of shorts. I will be posting on my TikTok page while TikTok is still up. I also have a Lemon 8 page and a X page as well. So search me up on those platforms. And always remember, the revolution starts with you. Peace.